Hi, I'm Jimmy Lepping, psychologist and statistician, and here a second video on financial markets for this weekend. In this one I share a quick analysis of the US dollar, pound sterling and Swiss franc against the euro since the start of 2021 all the way to 2023 year to date, the end of this week. To start, the US dollar. For most of the time window from the start of 2021 until late September 2022, one could have made decent gains being long US dollar. Just over a year ago, it peaked at nearly 105, meaning that at that point, one US dollar cost nearly €1.05. And since that peak of late September last year, it has had a considerable correction downward. It is currently in an interesting area because the latest high is higher than the previous two highs, and if it does not move down too much from here, so a next low is also above the last low, a return towards parity is in the cards. Next, pound sterling. This one had a quick dive down just a couple of days really before the US dollar peaked versus the euro. The pound for a moment went all the way down to just over 108, but we have since seen a return to higher levels. It seems to find itself in a somewhat sideways pattern in a range of just under 111 and just under 121. And using the heuristic that all levels of resistance after a breakout of those levels may serve as new support, it is actually now in an area where it could find support and reverse from here. However, if that does not happen, a further move down could easily go towards the lower range of the 111 to 121 interval mentioned earlier. So towards 111 or maybe 112 needs to be watched. Finally, the Swiss franc, personally one of my favorites since 2010, when I made some money being a long Swiss franc with strong moves in the franc-euro pair for the first time, and several times since really. For instance, also the mid-January 2015, when the Swiss National Bank lifted its peg to the euro and the Swiss franc moved within a day from 83 euro cent to parity. So I follow this currency pair closely and I'm quite amazed, frankly speaking, by how it just keeps moving up. Having seen the chart of the US dollar versus the euro earlier, you may have noticed that the US dollar and the Swiss franc moved in pretty much the same direction until late September last year, when both peaked against the euro. Yet the main difference between the US dollar and the Swiss franc is that the latter did manage to return to those highs from just over a year ago. Will this go further? That's a very good question. On the one hand, we do see a bounce down around that resistance just over 105 from a year ago, which could indicate at least a mild correction back to the 102 or 103 area. On the other hand, given that the recent pattern of higher highs and higher lows remains intact, there is still a good chance that the Swiss franc will remain above 104 and very soon test that resistance above 105 again, which, if it is broken, might well lead to considerably higher levels. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you for listening. And if you have any comments or suggestions, ideas for future videos, you can leave a comment below this video or just drop an email at leppinganalytics@gmail.com. Have a good day and see you soon.